So, I get this question a lot, or at least variations of it. People see the internet as this massive, almost magical thing, but at the end of the day, it's a business. And a pretty interesting one at that. Have you ever been frustrated with your internet provider and thought, I could do this better? Well, maybe you can. Today, we're diving deep into what it actually takes to start your own internet service provider, or ISP, right here in Kenya. It's a complex journey, for sure, but it's also one of the most impactful businesses you could build, connecting communities and powering the future. This isn't going to be a super high-level vague overview. We're going to break it down, step by step, into the real, tangible things you need to do. We'll cover everything from the initial business plan and legal hurdles to the nitty-gritty of the tech, the fiber, the towers, the servers, and all the way through to how you get your first customers and keep them happy. Think of this as the blueprint, the guide I wish I had when I first started exploring this space. By the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer picture of the entire process. It's a huge undertaking, no doubt about it, with significant capital and technical know-how required. But it's also not impossible. The goal here is to demystify it, to show you the path from idea to a fully operational ISP. So whether you're a tech entrepreneur looking for your next big project or just genuinely curious about how the internet works behind the scenes, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Alright, first up, and you can't skip this part, the plan. Before you buy a single piece of equipment, you need a solid blueprint. This starts with deciding what kind of ISP you want to be. Are you targeting dense urban apartments with high-speed fiber? That's a fiber to the home, or FTTH model. Or maybe you're looking at a more spread-out rural community where laying fiber is just too expensive. In that case, a wireless ISP or WISP using radio technology might be the move. Each model has completely different costs, technical challenges, and market potential. So this is your fundamental first choice. It dictates everything else that follows. Once you know your model, it's time for market research. Who are your potential customers? What are they paying now? What speeds are they getting? And more importantly, what are their pain points? Is it reliability, customer service, price? This is where you find your opening. Then comes the paperwork. You have to set up your legal structure. A limited company is pretty standard. And then, the big one, licensing. In Kenya, you'll be dealing with the Communications Authority of Kenya, or CA. You'll need to navigate their requirements for an application service provider, or ASP license, and potentially others, ensuring you're fully compliant. This is non-negotiable and takes time, so start early. Okay, with the plan in place, let's talk tech. Your ISP doesn't create the internet. It buys it in bulk and sells it in retail. So your first technical step is securing that wholesale internet access, what we call the backbone or upstream connection. You'll be making deals with Tier 1 or Tier 2 providers. These are the big players who own the international undersea cables and major terrestrial networks. You're essentially buying a massive, high-capacity data pipe from them. The quality, reliability, and cost of this connection is the foundation of the service you'll provide to your customers. It's a critical negotiation. Next, you need a place for all your core gear. This is your point of presence, or POP. Think of it as your ISP's brain. It's typically a secure, climate-controlled room, maybe in a data center that houses your primary routers, switches, and servers. This is where your big backbone connection comes in and gets split up for distribution. You'll be investing heavily in enterprise-grade networking equipment from brands like Cisco, Juniper, or MikroTik. And finally, you can't be an ISP without IP addresses. You'll need to apply to Afrinic, the Regional Internet Registry for Africa, to be allocated a block of public IP addresses that you can then assign to your customers. So you have your internet connection at your POP, but that's just one location. The real challenge is getting that connection to your customers' homes and businesses. This is what we call the last mile, and it's where the serious infrastructure build-out happens. If you chose the fiber route, this means physically laying miles of fiber optic cable. You'll be running it along utility poles, through underground ducts, and right up to the customer's building. This involves a ton of civil works, permits, and skilled labor. It's expensive and slow, but it delivers the best possible speed and reliability. If you went with a wireless model, your approach is different. Instead of trenches and cables, you're thinking in terms of line of sight. You'll be identifying high points like tall buildings or hills to install transmission towers. On these towers, you'll mount sector antennas that broadcast the internet signal across a specific area. Customers then have a smaller receiver dish installed on their roof that points back to your tower. You'll also need to set up repeater sites to extend your coverage into difficult-to-reach spots. And for both models, you'll want to establish peering agreements with other local ISPs and content providers. This allows you to exchange traffic directly, which is cheaper and faster than sending it all the way out to the global internet and back. So, this might not be the most glamorous part, but honestly, if you don't get it right, you don't have a business. You need a rock-solid system to manage your customers, and, most importantly, to bill them. Doing this manually with spreadsheets is, really just a recipe for disaster once you have more than a handful of subscribers. What you need is specialized ISP billing software. This software automates everything, creating invoices based on the customer's data plan, sending payment reminders, processing payments through M-Pesa or bank transfers, and even automatically suspending service for non-payment. This is your cash flow engine. But it's not just about billing. This system is often integrated with a customer relationship management or CRM platform. The CRM is your central database for every single customer interaction. It tracks their name, contact details, service plan, installation date, and any support tickets they've ever raised. So when a customer calls with a problem, your support team can instantly pull up their entire history. This allows for faster, more effective troubleshooting and, honestly, a much better customer experience. Investing in a good integrated billing and CRM system from the start saves you incredible headaches down the road. It professionalizes your operation instantly. Your network can be perfect, your speeds can be amazing, but well, things will still go wrong. A customer's router will fail, a cable will get cut, a tower will lose power. How you handle these moments really defines your brand. This is where your customer support structure comes in. At a minimum, you need a clear, easy-to-find way for customers to get help. This usually starts with a ticketing system where customers can log issues online and a dedicated support phone number. This creates an organized queue and ensures no one gets forgotten. Behind that system, you need skilled people. Your first line of support, the call center team, will handle the common issues, password resets, billing questions, basic troubleshooting. But you also need a team of field technicians. These are the people who go out and do the initial installations, but they're also your emergency response team. When a customer's connection is physically down, they're the ones who roll a truck, climb the pole, or reconfigure the rooftop dish to get them back online. Having a well-trained, responsive, and empathetic support team is honestly one of the biggest differentiators you can have against the larger, more impersonal providers. You absolutely cannot do this alone. Building and running an ISP is a team sport, and you need to recruit specialists for several key roles. First and foremost are your network engineers. These are the high-level tech experts who design, build, and maintain your core network. They manage the routers, the switches, the IP address allocations, and monitor network performance 24/7. They're the architects and the guardians of your entire infrastructure. This is not a role you can skimp on. Their expertise is fundamental to the stability of your service. Then you have your support and field technicians, who we just talked about. They are the public face of your company. You'll also need a sales and marketing team. Their job is to understand the market, create compelling offers, and go out and sign up new customers. They're the growth engine of the business. And finally, you need administrative staff to handle the back-office functions. This includes someone managing finance, bookkeeping, and payroll, and someone handling legal and compliance, ensuring your licenses are current, and you're meeting all regulatory obligations. Each of these roles is a critical piece of the puzzle. Okay, let's talk about the big one, money. Starting an ISP is extremely capital intensive. There's no getting around it. The initial investment can vary wildly depending on your model and scale. A small wireless ISP covering a single neighborhood might cost a few million shillings to get started, while a larger fiber-to-the-home project in a city could easily run into the tens or even hundreds of millions. Your biggest upfront costs will be the networking equipment for your POP, the fiber optic cable or wireless tower equipment, and initial licensing fees. Don't forget the cost of vehicles, tools, and office space. But the spending doesn't stop once you're launched. You have significant ongoing operational costs. The biggest recurring expense will be purchasing your wholesale internet bandwidth every single month. This is a massive bill. Then you have salaries for your entire staff, engineers, techs, sales, and admin. You'll have costs for tower leases or data center space, vehicle fuel and maintenance, software subscriptions for your billing and CRM systems, and of course, a budget for marketing to keep acquiring new customers. You have to model these costs carefully to set a price for your service that is both competitive and profitable. So, the network is built, the team is in place, and the lights are on. Now, how do you get customers? Competing head-to-head with the established giants on price alone is a tough game to win. A smarter strategy is to find your niche. Look for the gaps they've left. A great place to start is in underserved areas. These could be newly developed estates, rural towns, or even specific apartment buildings that only have slow, unreliable options available. Being the first to bring true high-speed internet to an area is a powerful marketing message. You become an essential utility, a local hero. Beyond just location, you need to define your competitive advantage. What makes you better? Maybe it's not just speed, but superior reliability backed by a strong service level agreement. Perhaps it's your incredible, local and responsive customer support that you can actually reach. You could also offer more flexible packages, like no contract plans or symmetrical speeds. Same upload as download, which is huge for content creators and people working from home. Building partnerships with local community leaders, estate managers, or businesses can also be a super effective way to build trust and get your first wave of signups. It's about being the better, smarter, more local choice. And that's the high-level view. From the initial idea and the business plan, through the massive technical and infrastructure build-out, to finally signing up and supporting your first customers. As you can see, starting an ISP is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a serious undertaking that combines deep technical knowledge with sharp business acumen and a genuine commitment to customer service. It's one of the more challenging startup journeys you can take, but also one of the most rewarding. You're not just selling a product, you're providing a foundational service for modern life. Now, I know we covered a lot, and every region, every city, every business model will have its own unique costs and challenges. This was the blueprint, but the details are where the real work lies. So, I'm curious, what's the next step for you? Are you at the point where a detailed startup checklist would be helpful? Or maybe you're trying to figure out the potential costs for your specific area and you'd like to see a video where we build out a sample budget. Let me know what would be most valuable. This is a huge topic, and I'm sure you have questions. Maybe about specific equipment, the licensing process, or marketing strategies. Drop them all in the comments below. I'll be reading through them, and will try to answer as many as I can, and your questions will help shape future videos on this topic. If you found this guide useful, a sub to the channel is always appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.